Hi, I'm Matt Willis, Public Health Officer for Marin County. Thank you for the opportunity to provide this update on our reopening process and the Marin Recovers Industry Advisors initiative. The past 2 months have been painful for all of us as we've tried to find a way to live with COVID-19 in our environment. As we take steps to reopen and regain some of what we've missed most, I want to share some important information about the next steps. First, I want to thank everyone across the county for doing their part to help us complete Phase 1 of our pandemic response successfully. Between mid-March, when we were seeing rapid growth in cases regionally, and now you, flattened the curve when significant surges were predicted. Your response to the first phase in Marin has given us time to build our systems to manage COVID-19 in the months to come and begin the delicate process of reopening. At the same time, we know the virus is part of our environment and we're at risk of losing the gains we've achieved. Navigating decisions about how and when to reopen safely requires a whole new level of communication and collaboration between public health and sectors across our community. Marin Recovers Industry Advisors brings businesses and public services together to respond to these challenges with a focus on both public and economic health. 17 different industry groups were brought together to advise on our rebuilding process, to develop standards and guidelines to follow as we sequentially and thoughtfully reopen over time. MarinRecovers.com is the website that provides all of us with the information we need about recovery and reopening, and includes the members of all the teams and industry groups that led the process. MarinRecovers.com is the best source of information for recovery and reopening. On the public health side, here are some important considerations. First, our ability to continue our sequential reopening is based on our actual local experience of the epidemic. There's a lot of variability across the state and how different communities are impacted. Marin is part of the core Bay Area counties that have been hit hard by this pandemic. Marin is in the top 20 in overall case rates and in the top 10 for death rates among California's 58 counties. This is important to remember as we see other communities, many who have almost no cases, moving more quickly through the reopening. Our neighboring counties to the north have much lower rates than we do. Also, remember the state shelter-in-place order sets the floor for what's allowable. Our choices in terms of reopening are limited to what the governor allows at each stage. Here's how we'll know how we're doing in Marin. With the core Bay Area counties, we established key indicators to track our progress. We're watching cases and hospitalization rates and tracking our capacity for testing, contact tracing, PPE for healthcare workers, and hospital beds. Our performance in these is available on the Marin Recovers website. We've been working hard with our healthcare partners to build capacity, and following these indicators, we're ready to engage in Phase 2. Any questions or suggestions regarding the reopening process can be directed to MarinRecovers.com website, and staff members will respond. Your city and town leadership will also use the Marin County Council of Mayors and Council Members Economic Recovery Committee to share your input and concerns. Finally, I want to say, as your public health officer, that more important than any of these policies in terms of what opens and when is your own behavior. My greatest concern is that people might misinterpret decisions to reopen as a sign that it's safe or that the virus is gone. In fact, we are more at risk now because we will be interacting more while the virus is still circulating. It's never been more important to cover your face when you're out, keep 6 feet apart as much as possible, wash your hands regularly, and seek COVID-19 testing if you develop symptoms through your medical provider. We've seen what we can accomplish when we move together and stay connected around goals we all share. We'll be relying on that same spirit to tackle this next phase. Marin will recover together.